pointed, you know, those quick points of feedback, the really quick bullet points like, oh yeah, this, and that, and just don't do that anymore, and really something to work with. But even then, you know, they're only one map through, you know, they have to apply that in just about 10 minutes of time. They've got 10 minutes of break, so that's not a lot to really get that information into your system and actually apply it and use it. So with that, I say I wonder where the knife round is going to go. If this goes in favor of Copenhagen Flames, they might get the start that they need, that they want. However, it's still a question mark. It can still very easily go to MIBR now. And let's see. Oh, this is look at this, the aerial assault. But it doesn't really look to work, I say, as I see the frags fly to and fro. And oh, it's down to a 2v1. Yep, now we've
seen that before.
Yep, KNG, he's going to run now. And he does not win there. Copenhagen Flames, they win the knife round. And that is a good start for them. That might just be what they need to turn train around here. So it's also going to depend on how now that, well, pistol round is going to go. They're going to stay on the CT side. That is pretty much a given, I dare say. So let's see now if, well, on this CT side, they'll be able to make it through if they can get the pistol round. In the last map, it was one pistol round for either team, but it was MIBR winning the knife round.
Well, let's see what we can expect from the side of Copenhagen Flames. We don't know how they play on towards train. They have played it a few times in the past, 4 times, won 2 out of 4. Now they want to at least get a even more positive win rate for themselves, yet against MIBR with their 67% win rate. That might just be a little bit of a stretch as they do go towards that B side. Is going to be MIBR just having the train go forward. Jabby also trying to tap around. So far, no real damage being exchanged, just a little bit of a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh
wound. It is
wound.
but a scratch. We'll see, though, if that little scratch will make a difference in the end. We can see MIBR here in B halls. They're kind of preparing, waiting, I think, to get onto that site. And they've got quite a bit of utility, really, on their T side to use. It's very much Fallen and Taco who invested into that. So let's see if they can actually make that shine through now. Use it successfully. Those mollies, the flashes, the smokes. But it doesn't quite look like it just yet, because look at Dafu. Solid hold coming in from him. 2 kills. Have a TRK and KNG. They can throw it back. It's the 3v3 and the plant is down. So that is definitely in favor of MIBR now. But Basso here could be a good flank coming in.
And he's coming up with the P2K. He will try to get the shots in. It's going to be KNG quite low. It's going to be falling. Stako will have that refrag, but the problem is he's alone in the 1v2. There is no armor on towards Manx, but there isn't any armor onto him as well. That's a very good shot on towards Mertz. Now just an armorless fight being won by Manx. Getting a clean headshot and, of course, also having the defuse kit. He doesn't waste any time to get that round in favor of the Copenhagen Flames. And the Danes will do quite well to at least get the first win going for him. But MIBR, of course, maybe trying to force back into it. We've seen it many of times after you do get a bomb plant down on towards that first round. And indeed, we do see the force as well.
I'd say it's almost a given at this point. You see it more often that teams just force that out instead of actually bothering to just save. And with a bomb plant, it's almost certain, I dare say. So not surprising at all to see them force out here. And I mean, look as well at that buy that they can actually get, right? You've got, actually, no, those are triple AK. No, 2 AKs and 1 Galil. I find it so difficult to discern between the two. You know, I've told you before.
It's your eyes.
I have terrible eyesight, you know. There's a reason why I wear glasses.
There's a reason why I drive the car and you sit next to me, do the music.
I was just going to say, you know, someone has to do the music, right? We have to, you know, get those good bands in like Metallica and Black Sabbath.
And of course, what's the song name? The Root Sandstorm, as we do see Basso standing by with the FMAS on towards the B side. He's the sole member standing there at this moment in time. And that might come to cost the side of Copenhagen Flames, of course. The rotate soon to come in if there would be some utility popping in. Indeed, there's already one player coming. Basso dealing some decent damage, still stuck on side and will be pre-fired. Fallen also taking down the first rotator, Jabby. Will be Molly going towards the connector area. They all then fall back as KNG was also rather close. And well, a 3v5, what are the odds of you winning? Relatively slim, maybe even 5%, so just go for that save and try to do something in the next round.
Yeah, they've got those M4s, you know, and those are expensive weapons, I dare say, so you're going to want to keep those and save those for the next round. Probably see those coming in soon enough, and who knows if Copenhagen Flames, you know, they do lose this second round even. Let's not get ahead of things now, you know, let's hope that they don't lose the second map, because that would mean, well, that they would just be out of the running, and that we would see MIBR going up against Namiga. And that would be interesting, I will admit.
That's actually the matchup we expected to see yesterday in the late evening.
Yeah.
Yet we didn't, as we do see indeed those 3 rifles being saved. Of course, a scout and 2 M4s. They didn't shy to use any utility to, of course, keep those weapons alive for the side of Copenhagen Flames. But, well, that equalizer already coming in from MIBR now might mean they will get some momentum their way. Curious to see if there will be, of course, another force buy from the side of Copenhagen Flames, and it does seem like it, which of course makes most sense, because why wouldn't you? You have those rifles. You have then a little bit of utility to buy with it. You have a decent-ish buy against, of course, the side of MIBR, who now has still 1 Galil, still 1 Scout, but actually 3 AKs and making 1 Scout less.
Yep, and that is a solid start for Copenhagen Flames. Taco here, he can get Basso back, make it a second. Mertz goes down. 3v3 now, but Taco quite immediately gets shot back by Dafu from Connector. Of course, got that intel that those 2 teammates of his just got shot down there, so it was a pretty sensible prediction that he would be going down the ramp there. In the meantime, though, Fur managed to turn it around again. TRK can recover the bomb. And now they might be going for this pop dog position, or at the same time, could go via B holes anyway. It's up to them. Got a bit of advantage in that sense, although you can see Copenhagen Flames moving up onto that B bomb site. And who knows, Dafu could come in clutch again. Getting another scenic little detour, or view.
That's a dead body.
Oh.
That's rather unfortunate, as we do see Mang standing by at least, and B upper. He will go down to TRK. Dafu now trying to rotate in as well. He will at least be past the molly. But will they have spotted him out? I don't think they have, as he's now creeping ever so closely. Moving past the old train, now being spotted out as well by the player on towards side. Nate will go for a double peek. Nate to come in as well. Fur will go low. Fur will eventually get the clutch as well, as his teammate went down. But that's a very good instant repeak and a very good second round for MIBR.
I was just going to say, you know, they with the speed that repeat came in, I'd say they almost played it together. You know, they almost double peaked. And you can see it again, Taco with a very solid double spray as well that made a critical difference. It's a shame for him that he ended up losing his life on the ramp there. Now that nade also is a little bit of a start, but it is what it is. MIBR now get that second round. 1 round advantage, of course. They did have to give off that pistol round to Copenhagen Flames. But ever since, it has been going largely their way. Fur here, that could have been a very good spray down, but he only got the 1. KNG having to come in and be the cleanup crew.
He always dares to go in quite aggressively, losing yet another AK and of course armor out of the hands of MIBR. And still some more damage being dealt, but at least they can recover, hopefully, that AK onto Taco, and they can. 3 rounds now in favor of MIBR, going up against most likely again a buy round from Copenhagen Flames. And if they do win this one, the momentum will definitely be in favor of the Brazilian side, trying to play it out to perfection and already having some decent economy for themselves.
Yep, and that is a solid start for them. Also immediately on Taco as well. I believe that's the 6,800. That is a whopping amount. Absolute insanity. Let's see if that will benefit MIBR later on. Will also depend, of course, on how damaging the rounds are that they play. That remains to be seen. For now, Javi here with quite an aggressive, I'd say, but it does end up succeeding for him, you would almost say, but Fallen frags it rather swiftly, and Fur here peeks in, gets Basso with his utility in his hands. Luckily, Dafu does exist out there, comes peeking out of, I believe, A2, that might have been. Some more utility gets thrown out. It's the Copenhagen Flames player. They are peeking aggressively, and it is working out for them most of the time. Look at the damage on the MIBR side of things, you know, Taco, 5 HP, Fallen, 40. Now Mertz, that's a solid peak from Pop Dog. And now, KNG, he looks ahead, but he's looking the wrong way. That is once again a free frag for Copenhagen Flames, and they've got on a couple like that now.
It's just MIBR extending too far beyond their own reach to refrag and, of course, support their players. Only Fallen alive in 1v2, and he sees a smoke just roll by as if it were a tumbleweed.
Ooh.
There is a player currently in the CT spawn. There's going to be a player around the B halls area, so a very easy plant can come down. Fallen, of course, just doesn't know yet. It's a very interesting gamble from the side of Copenhagen Flames, expecting the player actually to have moved on. But, well, he's actually moved on towards the A side. Now 1v2, of course, still 40 HP. Most likely needing 2 clean headshots to make it work. as it's going to be a rotate coming in from the Copenhagen Flames players. At least they're moving together. At least they still have utility. 2 smokes, 2 flashes, 1 defuse kit. More than enough, you dare to say, as the AWP will actually go for a little bit of an oversight. He'll take some damage as he will fall. There will be a peak coming down from taking, or at least dealing some damage. But Dafu coming in from stop sign, making it back in towards a second round for Copenhagen Flames. But we know, with the economy standing on MIBR with the plans as well, they will be able to rebuy easily. So it's going to be, of course, in their favor.
Absolutely, and we'll see how they do play out that next round then. As you say, in their favor, utility, weapons, armor, everything is going to be on point, so nothing to remark on that. The only thing to remark on is, you know, if Copenhagen Flames are going to try and apply those same strategies, I'd say some of the same aggressiveness that we've seen, because it did work out for them. They can try and keep that up. But also at the same time, you've got MIBR overextending, like you said. And that's a painful mistake for them to make. Utility is good, but Falling can take out Jabby, but that is close. He's only got 15 HP left. Only 1 nade, and that would be the end of him. So throws in that molly. Smoke on top of it. And KNG now peeking in, but connector frag isn't in there. Dafu actually manages with Taco's help. And Basso here, who's still holding ramp meticulously.
Oh, but the plant's coming in. Basso will get that eventual cancel, but it will be Taco from the ramp to get one in return. We now have a 2-on-2 situation with both players around the connector area for the side of Copenhagen Flames, trying to slowly move up with, of course, the bomb still being dropped. There is some utility, however, non-damaging, which makes it hard, as I believe a foot has been spotted out by Mangs, so he wants to go for a little bit of a pre-fire on towards TRK, who is now moved up as well. And that Mangs will now look and say, oh, you're gone, and Taco is there with a peek on towards him. Only Mertz alive. He will be blindsided by, of course, TRK in the end. And that's a 4th round from MIBR. That's a very good return. Of course, also pressuring now on towards the economy of Copenhagen Flames, forcing them to go for an eco.
And that is a, well, bit of a downside for Copenhagen Flames. Obviously, with that now, that third round in advantage, with that, of course, being their 5th, would now most certainly turn into their hand. LBR, who will have an easy time just fragging away at the Copenhagen Flames, who haven't actually gone for, I'd say, oh no, actually they have gone for those deagles, but besides that, no armor, nothing with the sword. So it's all going to come down to the sheer 1 deag skill. And I'd like to see that first before I believe it.
Shadow has been spotted by Furry, standing by, sees the Shadow move in once more, and he will kill Mertz in the end. KNG with a follow-up makes it in towards a 5-on-3, and now they just need to group up and finish things off slowly but steadily. Dafu standing close to Ivy, might actually go for a peek against KNG, and that's going to be quite hard for him to overcome. It's going to be Jabby with the opening kill on towards Fur. There's at least something, as Basso will now be tagged, but there will be a peek from the side. It's very well played by Copenhagen Flames, yet they have lost the B-side control with the mollies already moving in. That's at least, I believe, 2 AKs they can recover now, and that's a decent recovery for them going in towards the next round as well.
Absolutely. You can see Jabby picking up that AK now as well, and they're already going to take up quite the defensive positions. Just let that bomb tick away from MIBR and make those 2 AKs work their magic towards the end, well, towards that 8th round that we're going to go into in a moment.
We do indeed see the save coming down from Copenhagen Flames. Even if they don't spend anything, they at least are now able to build more of an economy for themselves if they do manage to start winning things. It's going to be vital because MIBR is slowly running away with this match, and also surviving with yet more 3 players. And that means it's going to be them building and building money for themselves. And it's going to be that 5-2. A very solid lead so far on that T side. Of course, not really the side they want to start on, but Copenhagen Flames won the stabbing round.
The stabbing round. I do like that. That's a nice name for the knife round, you know?
It makes it, I find knife so offensive.
Yeah, it's such a sharp word, right? You can actually hear that it's a knife and it's a sharp object. Yeah, I understand. Although I feel like stabbing, you know, you can also kind of hear that it's like the stabbing.
No,
motion.
you can also stab someone with a needle and make them feel better because it's medicine.
Oh, right, in that sense. Yeah, perhaps.
See,
Solid point there.
I'm always one step ahead.
Always. Now let's see if MIBR stays a few more steps ahead. If they can take the advantage in this round as well. You can see Dafu, Mertz, and Manx, they have to deal with those deagles. So it's all going to be around those recovered AKs. But Basso, he takes out Taco. We don't see those recovered AKs coming in clutch or we do see that recovered AK coming in clutch, but now Dafu a solid position, wallbang headshot even through the edge of the wall for taking out. And look at this, right? Copenhagen Flames with a, well, almost non-existent buy, you know, basically a pistol armor with recovered weaponry, are actually making this work out really well.
It's going to be MIBR struggling to get on towards his side as well, they are also actually split. There will be one player going through Ivy, possibly to contest backline and then move towards that B side, and he will tag up Manx a little bit. However, the rest of the team will have to execute, and it's going to be hard because Fallen being Great Train, there will be a player standing by. Only KNG now alive, and as I said, he's currently in backline. Waiting around and most likely trying to save that AK. As in the next round, they won't have any money either, and that means that, well, MIBR is now struggling against Copenhagen Flames, who can slowly build back towards, of course, equal numbers. And with 5 players alive, they can also start to build their economy towards that being a little bit more viable in the long run.
Absolutely, and that's kind of the long-term game that Copenhagen Flames needs to play out now. They are still 3 rounds behind. We'll get the 3rd in now, so they still have 2 rounds to play catch-up on. And with that, it is going to be solid for them if they can build that economy out now, build those reserves up, that even if they might have to, well, contest the round a bit more than usual, that they might lose 2 free players on their side, it is not the end of the world. Because right now, MBR, you can see the difference, you know, a stark contrast. They're able to buy to the best of their abilities, but you can see how they barely have any money left on them. And, well, the difference is supposed to be there, you do hear people say every now and then. But it does make things so much more difficult and, well, quite sour looking on the long run.
TRK standing by, but there is an AWP in towards Connector, also looking at his direction. So far, no tag coming through, as there will be MIBR just playing a little bit of a default. Trying to spread out, trying to get some control every now and then, but they have lost main control. It's Jabby already moving on, but first standing by if they do go too aggressive. But Jabby doesn't do that. Jabby's smart, Jabby waits.
Jabby smart?
Yeah.
Well then, let's see if he can use his intelligence to maybe get around Copenhagen Flames in again. Little bit of nade damage, but not really all that much. As MIBR plays it patient for now. That bomb is going back towards A main, it looks like, for now. And that was a little step. Dafu should have been able to hear that, but it is actually a 200 IQ tactic from Taco to keep Dafu occupied here around ladder.
Hello, I am here. You hear me, you see me, yet you cannot hit me. What am I? A taco.
Cheeky.
That would be the weirdest
flying
counter-strike.
taco.
A flying taco even.
It's even better.
Well, so far a very slow round as, well, we do see now MIBR trying to move towards the B side. They are slowly moving up, but the players in Ivy, they might also need to do something as Taco does go down, as, well, a flying Taco usually does. So it's going to be that 5-2-4, but still it's going to be followed with a frag in return. A smoke to be thrown, a plant to come in, and it will eventually be the molly to just go a little bit too deep as well. That can't contest anything. KNG now taking off one of the rotators. The other player going through connector, as we do see Fur also stepping up with 2 kills of his own. Only Merge alive with 7 HP is now already being pinned down from all directions. He's just figuring, if I go for the smoke, I can see them, they can see me. It's a win-win for both.
Absolutely. Let's see, though, if they can actually flush him out. They should be able to, but it might actually coincidentally look like they could all be going into CT to save. Oh, he might even get... Never mind. I was going to say, for a moment, I thought that he might even have gotten an exit frag out of this, but for quickly puts an end to that plan. Also manages to take that AWP with him, and that gets MIBR the 6th round.
Just cleanly played out here in the end. Versus 2 players, they weren't luckily necessary to take the side because there was only 1 kill coming in. Then Fallen was able to open up the side of the AWP too far away to really do anything after that. There will be a buy round coming in from Copenhagen Flames. As we said before, they were able to build some economy. However, the reserves are already diminishing. And now with 2 AWPs in their hands, they might be able to do something of their own. They have to get those aggressive keys in possibly. As Dafu will be slightly tagged up by Nate coming down the ladder from most likely a flying tackle.
There he is again, happily hopping around the top of the ladder. But now let's see if MIBR will also take the exact same approach, go for that B-bomb site again. And with that, they would put Copenhagen down Copenhagen Flames down severely. Dafu's hold is good though. Taco does get what's coming to him, so to speak. And it looks like maybe, just maybe, they are going to go for that same position after all. But look at the hold this time round from Copenhagen Flames. Absolutely no one being allowed to get on top of that site. But he has to go for an engagement. It is Fallen that can throw it back a little bit. And clever Molly they're throwing to actually prevent them from defending further. Should allow perhaps one plant to come in. But Fallen has that bomb in his hand, so he's going to have to commit to it.
Look at this, by the way. All the players from that CT area have been downed. They could actually go for a A-type side plant, and I think it would have actually favored them, as we do now still not see the bomb plant go down. Only now just. It's going to be Jabby moving up on towards Great Train, pre-firing as well on towards Fallen. That's clean. And that's a round in favor of the Copenhagen Flames, saving not just one, but 2 AWPs. That means already they're building in on towards coming back against MIBR. And I'm not really sure if MIBR, with this bomb plant, of course, as well, will have the money to buy.
I think they do, and yep, look at that. They can
just enough on most.
Yeah, it's not it's not ideal. I do believe you'll see them scamper out on utility a little bit.
And some Deagles maybe, or Mac-10s. Everyone uses Mac-10s nowadays. Do you like the Mac-10?
I do like the Mac-10, yeah. It's really good for just getting those, well, eco frags, you know, that's a classic example because you can really just get a solid money bonus out of it. And indeed, there's the two of them, Taco and Fur, with it in their hands. Let's see if they can actually make it work its wonders, you know. Mac-10 is $1050 basically. So you only need 2 kills with it to win it back already.
And already make a profit.
Exactly, a whopping $150.
Tell that to the stocks people, because then they would instantly buy some Mac-10s as we were waiting for the first kill to come in. Again, of course, a double AWP coming down from Copenhagen Flames, trying to play the long game. Yet, whenever MIBR goes for the close range B-side take, they sometimes struggle. It's Basso getting the first frag, second player to be spotted out as Birds will also step up. There's only a little bit of damage being dealt on towards Birds, and the rest of the round, smooth sailing. Copenhagen Flames getting yet another, and now getting on towards 5 of their own. One more to equalize the score, and we would dare to say that must come in now, because there will be that eco from MIBR.
Exactly, quite likely. You can see the reserves also just being non-existent altogether, whereas on the Copenhagen Flames side, they aren't the best reserves, we can say, but we are also getting towards the tail end of this first half, so a little bit of less importance, you could say. They've got those recovered AKs as well, that double AWP, and even the Mac-10 in the hands of Dafu. Well, that's going to be interesting. Let's see what that actually happens if he is actually going to go for those eco frags. Would make a lot of sense, but Basso might be the one getting the frags after all. A hopping little shot there, but it is Basso with a solid enough spray down, although Fur does eventually manage to throw something back. They can commit to the plant now. If Fur holds this off, that is at least a nice little cash bonus. And indeed, the plant is down, but Dafu does finish them off with the double Mac-10 kill. And the Molly makes it a little bit crispy for now. Oh, look at the love taps coming in again.
I got the kills. I need to defuse him. Jabby's like, no, this is mine. I get the points. I might be the MVP. It's going to be 6-6 equal score. Yet, quite costly, as MIBR was able to get 1 kill, which isn't too bad, of course, but at least a bomb plant, which is quite huge.
The bomb plant is really the bigger thing, I would say, as well. MIBR, they also are performing decently well enough, I'd say, on the T side, although, to be fair, for this being their map pick, I would have maybe expected them to play it a bit more solid, you know? I would have maybe thought that they would have really owned this a little bit more. See the spray down from Basso there. Only 2 frags in the end, actually. Less than he would have maybe anticipated, but sometimes it is quite difficult for you to really just hold that recoil under control and actually kind of transfer it far enough.
And Mertz was also stealing some frags. We have to take that into account. Mertz always the fragger for the side of Copenhagen Flames with his AWP. So far, it seems as if we're just waiting for the opening kill, and Mertz once more takes down Taco, and we see TRK trying to bring it back, but he will be flashed as well. At stop sign, Jabby in the meantime also takes out KNG, and only Fallen is only now able to get a kill in return, leaving only Fur alive as he was refragged. That makes it so hard for, of course, Fur to make something happen, but at least he has his own AK with his own stickers on it. Also a big sticker, by the way. He's a big fan.
Do you have a lot of stickers on your weapons in game?
I don't. Only the ones I got from like a long time ago.
I thought you were going to say I got from fans.
No. But I have bought some of the old school stickers, like when they came out. Just not from the first major, because I was a cheap man, didn't have the money for it, and I figured, no need. But they actually became quite expensive. Fer now getting a one-tap onto 1, a one-tap onto 2. Now only 2 players left standing with 30 seconds left. However, the bomb is currently still dropped around at Ivy area, and Dafu still playing in Pop Dog. So with the time running low, there's almost no chance for Fer to make this happen, especially as Basso now peeks in with the AWP, gets a frag. We have a 7th round for Copenhagen Flames. Now they are in the lead.
Absolutely, and that might be the lead that they need on the CT side. Extend this first half in their favor and then really just pull it all together on their second half on their T side. We'll have to see, because right now I feel like these are still going quite toe-to-toe, you know? Now we will be seeing that pistol armor coming in, I believe, from MIBR, and yes, indeed, pistol armor with 1 AK. No, that's a little. It's
no, that's an
little.
AK.
It is an AK.
You have to believe in your first gut feeling, as we do see Taco and an AK go down. Jabby almost gets a second, but of course he has Manx to support him, as it will eventually be that 4-on-2 situation. Nades to come in, deal more damage. As Fer is low, TRK is moving up, but he will most likely go down soon after getting 1 kill. At least it's something, but I wasn't really sure what Duffy was doing there. As you do see now that 8-6 scoreline, and well, if we do see Copenhagen Flames winning this map, I think there would be some tilt on the MIBR side.
Just some very mild tilt, you know, just a healthy amount, not too bad. But it is starting to look...
The tilt you know and like?
Yes, the good kind. As long as there's no keyboards being smashed or...
They'll have some spare, right?
Yeah.
They're professionals.
But I do believe with the Copenhagen Flames, now they could end out this 9th round in quite the positive situation. Now would have them the triple round advantage. And I'd say that IBR with that, they'd look at a more challenging, I dare say, well, quite a bit of a more challenging CT side. I would expect them to really own that side a little bit better. You know, it would be their ballpark, it's their map pick, and TRK, he does get a good frag on Mertz here. That's him taken out. And with that, we'll see now if it will actually connect, if it will go somewhere, if it is going to be the rest of the round. Because it is right now the 4v4. HP is low on both sides as well. You know, look at Taco, look at Fer, but then at the same time, look at Jabby. And if you kind of spread that out a little bit, Manx too.
It's going to be falling with a frag on towards Basso as he does eventually crouch up. It's going to be Manx in the meantime also getting a frag in return, but look at the score. And as you said, the health. There's 2 players awkwardly low. There's Manx, not too healthy either, but you have Jabby, and he just gets another frag. I do like to see Jabby do a stabby, but a one-tap on towards the low HP Fer is also quite well. 9-6, a very strong comeback in this half from Copenhagen Flames, as you can see, streaking together 6 rounds in the end.
Yeah, solid for their CT side, and for a map that they have, well, I mean, a 50% win rate on. They've only really on record played it 4 times, though, so there's a bit of a question mark. You know, that one could maybe not be that representative, but we will have to see. So far, I'm saying that, you know, the Copenhagen Flames, they could actually finish this off on the T side, though. But at the same time, how, like, if you know, actually, good question to ask, perhaps. Train is a pretty CT-sided map, right?
Yes,
but
would you dare to say normally.
Yeah, but would you say that it's one of the most CT-sided maps? Or is that still Nuke that takes that title?
I wouldn't know. I'd have to see the stats, and I think
good old
Nuke
statistics
would still be slightly more CT favored, but of course it also always really depends on the team. Because it's all how you play. If you look at an Amiga, every map will be slightly more T-sided, because their CT side is sometimes a little bit over-aggressive, but their T side, that aggression actually pays out.
Yeah, it works for them there. No, absolutely right. But it is, I find it, because I find it difficult, you know, to really decide, is this these 6 rounds from MIBR, is that really a solid performance? You know, can they do better? We'll have to see now as they, well, try and defend their bomb site. Mang still doesn't succeed so far. KNG, TRK, they do get the frags. Falling comes in as well. Basso and Jabby in the meantime can throw something back, but they are also quite immediately the last men standing. Oh dear.
But there's Dooley's. This must be a win. Fallen standing by with the Dooley's already getting 1 frag, RJ.
You believe in the Dooley's.
And, well, with 2 pistols, you need to get 2 frags, and there's only 1 more player standing, so Fallen will get a frag. As the bomb, still at old bomb train, will have to still be picked up with 1 minute left on the clock and 2 players left to find. It's going to be Fallen also moving up together with his teammate. And he will get the frag in the end. And as I said, 2 frags, 2 pistols.
Dualies. Yep, can't argue that, to be honest.
He doesn't really have a fancy skin. That's what's slightly disappointing to me.
Oh, what do you need? Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, the skin doesn't make a difference.
Yes, it does. It would just make it so much more awesome. There's beautiful skins on the dualies.
But do you really shoot better with certain skins? Do you need that, what is it, the Dragon Lore on the AWP to really perform?
No, I needed to pay for, like, quite some months of food.
A new car.
No, I think I could really afford that from a Dragon Lore, yes. As we do see a nade come down from Taco, and that will be some decent damage down. Of course, he's also standing by with the MP9, and if they do move through, he will be ready to count those dollar bills, y'all.
Nah, but they moved back. They're scared off. That molly was far too frightening for them, along with that nade that dealt so much damage. It's going to be the question, though. Do they run into a player with an SMG in their hands or one with a rifle? Because, well, if you look at the health here of these players, that could easily make about $1,500 difference, quite honestly. Let's see now.
They're making the bell do a ring, as it will be eventually. Taco will make them ring. It's going to be just a bait, because Fur walks in and all those blocks are standing by. KNG also being tagged up, but he at least now gets 2, almost free. He shouldn't overcommit as the MP9 will be picked up. Merge going for the frag, but there's another player standing by. And also one behind. Taco with the frag, meaning it's 9-8. And so far it seems like MIBR is slowly coming back. And of course we also have to say they've already won the map pick of Copenhagen Flames, so they should be in a better form at this moment in time.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I think the little indicator or the little milestone that MIBR wants to play for now is definitely going to be that 9th round. If they get that, then it's back to an equal playing field. But now Copenhagen Flames, of course, talking about an equal playing field, is getting that full buy-in. As a matter of fact, I'd say right now, you know, looking at the SMGs and the FAMAS, it is just a better buy even compared to what MIBR has.
Well, things are already coming down on towards Jabby. He's on low HP, just a nade would finish him off. As long as it's near enough, of course. This is going to be for the first frag. Dual breaths are still in the hands of Fallen, as he has to fall back as well towards the B side. It's a sole member actually actively contesting this, but there will be a very good incendiary to slow down the T players. They're still trying to commit, and look at this insane, or at least rotate from the side of MIBR. Not really peeking just yet, as the bomb now moves off slightly. They're all players are standing by here, and they're waiting. They're waiting for the inevitable push to come in, but the longer it takes, the more they doubt. And KNG with your M4, it's going to be quite risky as the smoke will dissipate fairly soon. He will go for the first frag. They are with utility in their hands. It's a 1-for-1 trade, still of course in favor on the side of MIBR, and now we do see that execute come in. Bassett with the first frag on towards the arcade. Fur also for the flank quite early on. Yet, of course, the players on site will have to get some frags as well. Taco gets 1. He will be traded out by Dafu. A 1v2 for Fur. I believe they have heard him, meaning they will plant a little bit differently. Maybe towards the A side they could want to go for it, as Basso will go down and Dafu indeed rotating through connector towards A. And Fur is actually hearing it, or at least expecting it. Already rotating through, and he's now standing by to get the kill in as soon as the bomb plant will go down. Dafu with now the plant, looking towards electric, but Fur actually spotting the player as well. Now behind Green Train. Dafu can just play more time. There will be a flashbang on towards both sides, but Dafu just peeks in blindly. Gets a frag, 10-8. Copenhagen Flames once more extending their lead.
I think also Dafu is a solid player, you know, when it comes to having a 1v1. He's really shown some really, really nice one-taps in the past. So I think in that battle, he just takes the upper hand there. Gets Copenhagen Flames, of course, that 10th round, and it could be looking like the classic upset, you know. You've got your MIBR really just winning Copenhagen Flames, their map pick, but then, surprise, surprise, Copenhagen Flames just win MIBR, their map pick. And then we'll go to Inferno, and, well, if MIBR does a repeat of what they did against the other Danish team in this group, then I'm afraid that we will be seeing a rather swift Inferno passing by. Like a train, almost, but not quite like this map.
A little bit choo-choo.
Sort of. The stomp train.
Oh, there we see Lennon just looking down on the T's at this moment in time. He's proud. Yet, of course, he's waiting for them to succeed. There was a small timeout coming in from the Copenhagen Flames, of course. They really want to win this, because if they lose, they're out of the tournament. The winner of this series will go towards the playoffs, as well as Namiga. Yet they still have to play a best of 3 to see who will be the best of this group as well.
the very best around.
Oh.
But for now, that looks to be Copenhagen Flames. They have that 2-round advantage. MIBR right now on also, I believe, what is, well, not really the best buy. Maybe some upgraded pistols at best, although they do have some more money to play with. It's kind of the money disparity is also a bit of a problem, you know? Look at KNG and Taco, and they have more, but they've got Fallen who's kind of in between, and Fur and TRK just at the bare minimum, so to speak.
Well, just Nico. He can't really do too much, of course. TRK has invested himself a P250 in armor, which will eventually put you back to about 1,000 down. Fur with 1 frag with his USB, no investment from him, and, well, no life for him either, as only Taco is alive in a 1v4. Jabby rather low, and Taco the P250 has nothing to save, apart from maybe a little bit of return on investment if he does get that kill in. Of course, the P250, the weapon that actually pays for itself if you do get a kill. It's going to be Dafu standing by with the Mac 10 once more, trying to get yet another frag of his own. He's already gotten one in towards this round. They just want to have more money to spend. Dafu still on the hunt, not spotting out the player because he's currently behind the smoke. And he's trying to move up, yet the bullets will fly by him. And he's waiting for the smoke to dissipate and him to be able to go for a little bit of a peek from on top of this train. He does not spot a player at all because there isn't any. He does spot a player go back towards the side. Jabby was low. One shot would have done the deal. But, well, 11 to 8. It's going to be MIBR struggling a little bit, but they will now be able to buy.
Better luck next time, I would say. And MIBR indeed now having a good chance with an actual buy coming in. The Copenhagen Flames, who are just building up their reserves a little bit. They've got the utility, etc., everything that their hearts might potentially desire. And we'll have to see now if on the MIBR side of things, well, they might be able to get it back now. It's still not the best to buy, you know. You can see it at that FAMAS, that MP9. They're just not the ideal options. But they do have quite a bit of utility to play with, and that could just be what they need. And also KNG getting a critical opening frag, along with Mertz being quite heavily tagged up. But that is a dirty shot. Just a drive-by on KNG, I believe.
And away he goes. Most likely the next round, but at least it's going to be Copenhagen Flames equalizing the score, only to die to Fur, who has now since picked up that AWP of his fallen teammate. It's a good way to recycle. If everyone would just been able to do that in their life so far, the Euro would look way better. But Jabby, now also having a fidget spinner, takes down TRK. And we're going to see that 3-on-3 situation with Mertz being awkwardly low. But still, Copenhagen Flames, of course, now having equal numbers, are usually in favor. Fallen, however, will still try to contest, but misses 2 shots, has to fall back right now. And is doubting to throw in his incendiary, but it could have really worked out because then Mertz at least couldn't have pushed through. Fur goes down to Mertz and another 1-tap. As Fallen is still standing by, still has that molly to work with, but goes down as well to Jabby. And the plant goes in, the save as well for Taco most likely, as he tries to most likely pick up also a AWP.
We'll see now if this round is going to stay in the Copenhagen Flames' hands, if it will go in their advantage, or if there is going to be some god play coming in from Taco to get the 3v1. I don't think so, seeing as he's already so far away, but you could maybe hope for 1 or 2 exit frags as he's heading towards CT, taking a leisurely stroll and eventually arriving at his destination.
It's going to be Dafu saving that AWP for, of course, his team, as the Copenhagen Flames are slowly coming back towards this map. Taco standing by the M4, hopefully to get still an exit frag, and he will be peeked out and eventually getting the frag on towards Jabby. At least it's something, yet of course they now lose yet another round. So sloppy, so unfortunate, and Copenhagen Flames coming in strong on towards its T side, and look at this. Oh, dirty 1-tap.
It was honestly a dirty drive-by. That's all I can say against it. But it was well done, and that is one of the things that get Copenhagen Flames this 4th round advantage now. MIBR, who were, well, not the most convincing perhaps on the first map, but who did end up getting the result. Right now facing off against Copenhagen Flames, who after that short 10-minute break or so in between the maps, really have shown up, you know. They have really seen and realized perhaps where it went wrong, and are now proving themselves. They're on their T side. You could say that that's not the advantageous side on this beautiful map that we call Train, but there's still really a solid chance, of course, for MIBR to come back. But it is slimming and slimming more and more. And as we see Fallen here, he can't hold it out either. It's all going to come down to Taco, but his spray is deep enough. Gets one player, but the second isn't in there. It's Mertz who refrags him rather swiftly. And with that now, TRK is the last man standing. Has to dance around the Molotovs. But for the rest, has sadly not much more of a chance left. And Copenhagen Flames are quite assuredly now taking that 13th round.
Well, so far, it's going to be MIBR struggling more and more, as they will not be able to rebuy. A full buy will need to be won right here to at least have a chance, because if they lose, their economy once more in shambles, unless if they do save, of course. But, well, saving doesn't really give you a round. That just means that Copenhagen Flames will go towards 14, and then they're only 1 away from map point, and 2, of course, from winning the map itself. And that's a very scary prospect for MIBR, who are trying to slowly build their way in towards this map again and win it 2-0. And we sort of expected it to go to 2-0, because, of course, this is the map pick of the side of MIBR. But we're seeing a classic. You win my map, I win your map.
Yeah, it's really something that we've seen before, and I think MIBR maybe there is some sort of how do I put it, some sort of attitude of, oh well, but once we bring it to Inferno, it's done and dusted. You know, we just got Inferno 16 free, so we'll just do that again. But I feel like that is an unnecessary risk that MIBR might be taking, and they are just kind of, yeah, it's just not going as solidly as it has been going in the last few, or in the last map. But it's still, you know, in the last map, they also had to quite fight for it. You know, we went to overtime, and we even went almost went into the second overtime. But, oh, that's a good tag on Mertz, though. A wallbang, I believe. And, yeah, that's MIBR, who right now do have a bit of an advantage in this round. But they still have to keep it in their hands, you know. They have to make sure that they don't get fragged out of a bomb site, as Copenhagen Flames has really been doing in the last few rounds. TRK here going for that heaven position. That could definitely work out. That's usually not one that you see check that often, and it usually is a guaranteed 1 frag.
And then it's really hard to fall back. You don't really have much to hide behind, as we do see 2 more frags coming in favor of MIBR. It's going to be Mertz and Jabby trying to build back in towards, of course, this round as well.
Oh.
As Mertz did saw a player, he actually lands in front of him.
What?
Hello, this is awkward, as it will be Mertz getting the frag
God.
in the end with his Deagle. Well, those are the silver battles you sometimes have in your own ranked matches.
But I thought he saw him, didn't he? You could see the helmet sticking out, but I guess he didn't.
Yeah, Mertz saw the player, but he didn't expect the player to jump in front of him. And then it was like, oh, we're close-range AWP players right now. We can't do this.
I'm just simulating with the mouse like now.
Loads of movement, indeed. You see him like, oh, the no-scope. Oh, no, not really. Deagle, yes, okay. Luckily, the jumping in accuracy with the Deagle is now greatly reduced, because in the old times, you'd have like 4 seconds of inaccuracy, or at least it felt like it.
Yep. Do you remember, like, when there was that small period of time where the R8 was just so
Oh, that was great.
Giga
I played it all the time.
Yeah, because
on the CT side, you didn't even have to buy normally. You just bought an R8 and you were set and ready to destroy some AKs, as well. The AKs right now are destroying the side of MIBR.
Solid. Let's see, though, if Copenhagen Flames can make this into a 16-18, 16-18 even. 16-18 would be, well, not that advantageous. But it is starting to look like it. Copenhagen Flames now already on the map point. And honestly, I feel like it's gone quite quickly now, almost, especially towards the end here. Or, well, towards them reaching the map point. They've really been just throwing in the rounds, and they've been getting them quite successfully. MIBR now on 8 still, and that's a serious disadvantage that they're dealing with. They are 7 rounds behind. And, of course, I've seen, you know, we've both seen MIBR get some serious round streaks in there. But right now, I'm not feeling it. I'm not saying that they're going to pull that off again. You can see Copenhagen Flames are going for a quite rapid play towards B halls, and that's working out because there's no one really standing at the ready for that. The Molly will hold them off, will mean that they can't really push through, but Molly being cancelled out now with a smoke instead. If they get a good opening here, perhaps near that bomb site, they could push through on that. But it looks like right now they've opted to fall back a little bit again.
It's going to be Basso standing close by towards A main. There will be a player there. It's going to be Fur. Tagged up slightly by running in towards the Molly, and they will be expecting him to be close. Will there be a flashbang, however? Not yet from the side of Copenhagen Flames. They actually now move away a little bit. They're not really sure on what to do. Do they want to wallbang? No, they don't. And Fur is still standing by, getting more and more NC by the minute. Will throw in the smoke as well. should delay the players to move in. And indeed, Copenhagen Flames now moves back as well. Meaning we now see Fallen with the opening kill. Going aggressively around that Ivy area. More pressure to come in from Pop Dog, but so far it seems like MABR is slowly getting in towards this round. Getting the opening kill. Slowing down the Copenhagen Flames side, both on towards B and on towards A right now. And they're waiting for the eventual peak to come. Fallen will get another frag on towards Jabby. It's going to be a 5-on-3 as Manx is still standing by. But Taco also holding this angle towards Ramp. Gets an easy frag for himself. Leaving only 2 more players. And, well, with 20 seconds left, they might actually go for a save. Because that is going to be worth more with these weapons. Then, of course, also them getting the loss bonus.
Absolutely, it's way too much in not only weapons, but also a little bit of utility and that armor that you can't deny. That's another $1,000, well, kept in your pocket, so to speak. And MIBR, well, they still have so many rounds to catch up on, but part of me is worried, that now we're going to see some sort of really convincing MIBR streak coming in. That they feel the pressure of like, okay, right, they're at their map point. Maybe we should just really start like playing at our very, very best now. We need another
overtime, baby.
Yeah.
We're good at overtimes.
Just play for the overtimes, man.
Well, so far, MIBR is now still 6 rounds away.
So far, MIBR. Nice.
Yeah, calculating.
Always going for those rhymes.
It's part of my human nature, as we do see the double AWP coming down from MIBR as well. KNG, Fallen, of course, the dynamic duo to take those into account. Will be able to work in the opening frag. It's going to be Ferg getting first towards that. KNG helping us out, and, well, only Bass alive in just a few seconds. And most likely, either he goes for a save, or he goes for an aggressive play. But I think once more, a save would really benefit him. Because then he still has some utility, as the weapon, as the armor. It's not really the most fun way to play it out, but I think it's currently the smartest, because then in the next round they might still be able to buy.
Exactly.
If he has this much money, why won't the rest have?
Yeah, and it's I don't think it's about having fun so much, but it's about getting the results. It's important to have fun. You shouldn't play CS if you're not having fun, but
what?
Yeah. Oh, you don't. Oh, you think that the suffering is part of it?
Well, I've talked with Crucial from the side of Endpoint a long time ago, and he said, I love Counter-Strike. I still do. But sometimes, if you play it all the time as a job, it gets a little bit dull.
Oh, but no, I get that, though. I get that.
He played in America. He went to join Splice for the NA Pro League. And like the big problem was that he didn't have his friends there.
Aww.
They were supposed to be in the gaming house. It was going to be hard. And, well, not everyone's in the gaming house. So he's there. Oh, yeah, play Counter-Strike. And then I want to go chill, but there's no really friends, so he has to go out by himself,
so
try to meet new people, and it's going to be hard. But, well, he managed to pull through. He's still with us. Love Crucial.
Aww.
Best player in the Benelux apart from Chris J.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. If we are thinking about our region, the Benelux, he's pretty much up there along with Chris J. And, yeah, maybe Scream, I guess, So.
Yeah, well, he's French.
Yeah, well.
He's, of course, a Belgian player, but then you can also say, well, Existence is also a very good Benelux player.
Yeah? Come on, let me have a bit of my Belgian pride. Good lord.
Sure. Good luck with your Belgian pride. I'm just going to be Dutch all the way. So we're going to see 15-10. MIBR now with yet another round for themselves. It was a very long wait before it actually came to a conclusion. Well, sometimes it's worth the wait, as there might be a chance for another overtime. You said it before in the last match. We haven't seen too many overtimes, and you jinxed it, RJ.
It's cast the curse, the classic. But really, though, we've literally seen this before from MIBR. They are literally one round away from losing it, and suddenly it's like they just realize, like, oh damn, we really have to play well now. What is this? What are we gonna do? Oh yeah, boom, get the frags, just get in there, and they just succeed somehow. And that is, I think, amusing in a way to see, but it is also. Well, it makes you wonder, why don't you play like that from the get-go and just get way more decisive wins? But of course, it wouldn't be MIBR if they played like that. They'd be a better team.
I wonder how, I wonder why. Yesterday I was shooting at the blue sky, as the players will now move through the B side. It's going to be Jabby with the opening kill towards Taco. The players will have to bring that bomb down, and where will it be able to down it? Thanks, however, return tracking towards KNG makes it harder for the side of MIBR to hold on, as we do see another kill going in favor of MIBR. Still that bomb on the floor. Time is slowly ticking away, but there's more than enough to go with. Look at the nades. 2 nades still in favor of MIBR, and there goes another frag. First takes down Jabby. Only Mangs also low, and Fur actually with a 4K. Could go for the 8s if Dafu does go for the peak, and he's going with an AK in hand, and he goes for 1 frag at Fur with the 8s indeed. That's a clean retake of the B bomb side, just like you see in the books.
Solid Fur play as well, though. Lovely ace from him there. And Dafu, I do want to highlight, that was a really nice tap there at the end.
Oh, yes.
But sadly, it just couldn't really pull through.
It doesn't mean anything anymore.
No, it's a shame, really, because, you know, you do see the Copenhagen Flames players. They really have that potential. They can get some really, really clean shots sometimes. But when they really need it the most, you know, those come in at the end or when you don't really need them, like just now. Because right now, Copenhagen Flames needs those really good frags from the get-go so that they have this 2-man advantage over MIBR and they can confidently enter a site, force it into an afterplant situation, and then just play that out. But we aren't seeing that right now.
At least MIBR is, of course, playing more and more closely together. We've seen them play quite solo quite often, as well as we now see an AXQ to come in. First ones of players just had an ace. We're quite happy as now Fallen and KNG will both get some kills, but then there will be a double refrag. KNG still surviving for just a little bit longer before he falls to Mert, and now we actually have the advantage in favor of the Copenhagen Flames. TRK still standing in heaven right here, waiting for the players to move in, but there will be a flashbang. He has to dodge that. Doesn't really go too well, but they still don't know he's here. The bomb soon to be planted by Dafu, and he's actually safe for that heaven angle. That means beep beep boop boop boop. The bomb is now planted, and we still have that 3-on-2. And the player now finally moving in towards the aim of TRK, but he can't really move away that easily from this position without actually going in towards the aim lines of Copenhagen Flames. They are, of course, low with Merge, but the utility isn't too great on the side of MIBR, still trying to hold on, still trying to bring it back. And it's the first frag from TRK, leaving only Merge alive with his low HP. There are defuse kits, there are angles, they now know where he is, but it's going to be Merge with the first frag, only Taco alive, and look at him, just having an AWP, don't having the time, goes for the Ninja defuse, and he can't make it work. 16-11, we go to the third map, RJ. And
Yes.
this could still go either way.
Solid, really, in the end by Copenhagen Flames. They made it a little bit challenging. They made it a bit, you know, worrying. You would think that MIBR could have really thrown in that reverse sweep there for a moment, just win a ton of rounds in a row, but in the end, they couldn't make it happen. They couldn't make it through. It is Copenhagen Flames. They do get the second map now, and we're going into Inferno. Inferno is going to be that tight, free-mapper situation. A little bit in a, how do I put it, you know, not according to how we expected it. I think we both kind of agreed if that first map would have gone to MIBR, which it did, then the second map was almost